to the entertaining Talkin' Sports.
What is going on, football fans? Back at it with another New York Giants video as the New York Giants are fresh out of the bye as they get set to take on the Chicago Bears for their 11th contest this year. The Giants coming in at 2-8, and the Bears, like the Giants, have had a very disappointing season. This game is for pride, really, for both teams. The New York Giants go into Chicago. Neither team is headed to the playoffs as the Giants look to have a strong second half after the bye, much like they did last year. And the question is, can Saquon Barkley get back to his form? Saquon Barkley has not been the same player since he sustained that high ankle injury, and I think that has a lot to do with it. Many will say that you can't make excuses, and I guess that's fair to say, but he just does not look like the same player. Now, maybe some of that has to do with the fact that he's injured. Maybe some of it has to do with a mental issue, that he's worried that he may re-aggravate the injury, even if he is completely healthy. And, by what the doctors have said, he fully recovered. Now, he came back a lot sooner than many people anticipated. As a matter of fact, most people thought that he probably should wait until this game after the bye to come back from this injury. Now he's had 2 weeks to rest the ankle, and hopefully he can get back to that. Last year, of course, we were able to take down the Chicago Bears in a game in which I think was Saquon Barkley's signature game of last season. It was not his best stats, but it was damn near close. He did not record a touchdown in the game, but factoring in the opponent and the level of defense that the Chicago Bears had last year, Saquon Barkley was an animal. He rushed for 125 yards and just had so many signature runs in that football game. He also had 21 yards through the air. This, of course, is a revenge game for the Chicago Bears, who went 12-4 last year, and this was, their most embarrassing loss. The Giants, of course, only won 5 games. The Bears were a Super Bowl contender last year, so that was a shocker, and I'm sure they're going to be motivated to win this football game, whether or not Mitch Trubisky plays. The Giants will be without a lot of guys on the offensive line. I think they're going to be missing 2 starters on the offensive line. I'm not sure about Shepard and Ingram, but they very well may not play, and Barkley will have to carry the load. This defense has been phenomenal. They've only surrendered 9 passing touchdowns all year, so don't expect Daniel Jones to go out there and light them up. If the Giants want any chance to win this football game, Saquon Barkley will have to get back to the Saquon Barkley of old, and hopefully he's fully recovered. And what is his key to that? Well, he was quoted as saying by NJ.com, they came out with a very interesting article on some of the words that Barkley came out with, what he thinks he needs to do to get back to his old form that we're all used to seeing. Here's the first quote. "I'm just going to go back to having fun," Barkley said Thursday. "There's a reason I'm one of the best running backs in the league, and I'm just going to go out there and do what I do." During the bye week, Barkley spent time studying the film and did not like and barely recognize what he saw on the screen. "Watching film of myself, I don't know what it was for me not to be me," Barkley said. "That's what I'm getting back to this week. I'm going to go out there and bowl and have fun." He then later said this. "That's the message my dad told me my whole life," Barkley said, "when people tried to change my running style in high school. So I'm just going to have fun. That's the biggest thing. Have fun and play like you're a little kid." And you know what? Maybe that is the problem. Maybe he's been thinking way too much. Maybe he needs to just go out there and do what he does best, which is make something out of nothing, something that he has not been able to do. Now, by no means is this all Saquon Barkley's fault. I will say his blocking has not been great, and some of that may have to do with the injury, but the offensive line has not opened up any running holes whatsoever. In that Jet game, he had nowhere to run the entire game, in which he only had 1 yard on the ground. And I think Saquon Barkley is a very prideful football player, and I just hope he goes out there and he's 100%. At this point, I like to think that he probably is, and I think we're going to get a rebound from Barkley this week. Will it be enough to pull off a win? Well, there are 3 games remaining on the Giants' schedule, in my opinion, where I think they have a solid chance to win, this being one of them. The Bears have definitely, as good as their defense is, the offense has been arguably the worst in football. I think they rank 30th in the league, and they're not getting any better. They're averaging like 3.5 yards a carry. So I think this is a winnable game. By the same stretch, they're only surrendering, I think, 3.5 yards a carry. So Barkley certainly has his work cut out for him, much like he did last year when the Giants took on the Bears, and Barkley showed him who was boss, in which he averaged 5.21 yards a carry against one of the best run defenses in football. Can Barkley get back to having fun, and can the New York Giants get a win because of it? Because I don't expect Daniel Jones to go out there and light this defense up. For the Giants to win, Jones will have to rely on Barkley. And if he can, Maybe Jones could throw a couple in the end zone if they could mix it up. We'll have to wait and see. As always, if you liked what you watched, please subscribe, drop a comment, maybe give me a little thumbs up. Cheers.